And right now, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. Romaine Bostick alongside Alix Steel. We're counting you down to the closing bell. And here to help take us beyond the bell, it's our global simulcast with Scarlet Fu in the television studio, Tim Stenovec and Carol Massar in the radio booth, as we welcome our audiences across all of our Bloomberg platforms, as well as those folks watching us on YouTube. Carol, how are you?
I am well. It's Friday, a long weekend. It's gorgeous outside. What could go wrong?
We're inside, not outside.
That was weird.
Wow.
A lot of things, I guess.
We got another hour of the program. There's a lot that can go on between now and then. You know what I'm surprised about?
I meant it to be optimistic in some way, but it didn't come across.
There's some optimism in the markets today. I mean, look at the Nasdaq Composite, up more than 1% right now. It turns out some people are at their desks trading today.
Or they just put in their orders and they left for the day. The data coming in from University of Michigan. Yeah, you can do that. Well, or you can let the robots take over. The UMich data came in better than expected, particularly with the inflation expectations moderating. So that gave a boost to those who are looking for, once again, the Fed to cut rates sometime this year.
Yeah, I have to say, I've struggled to find what's going to be the next direction for markets at this point. Like, I know we have Jobs Friday, but that's not until June 7th. So what are we going to do in the next couple weeks? I realize there's some economic indicators next week, second quarter read of GDP, for example. We also have PCE, but really, guys, come on. Like, what's
I'm counting down to the blackout period.
We know. The blackout with no Fed talks doesn't mean the grid's going down.
I don't see the countdown clock's not on screen yet.
All right. Well, we're almost there, Tim Stenovec here. I mean, it's kind of interesting, too, the complexion, because we came into this week with the big expectation this would be a big week for tech. And I guess technically it was. That is the leading sector on a weekly basis. But we should point out the majority of the sectors on a weekly basis are in the red. As for the day, you actually got some green across the screen despite the oscillations that we've had all day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average right now straddling the line between gains and losses. It's up about 4 points right now, but of course it takes a while for these numbers to settle. They're still going to be down on a weekly basis. The S&P 500 up about 37 points or 0.7%. That's only going to again give it to about break even on a weekly basis, but the Nasdaq Composite doing what it does best, up 185 points or more than 1% on the day, up on the week as well, while the Russell 2000 is going to close out the day higher by 21 points or 1%.
All right, that's the small caps. Back to the big caps I go. S&P 500, definitely a positive tilt to the index. 355 names, Scarlet, actually gaining some ground today. 147 to the downside and 1 unchanged.
All right, let's look at the sectors. And no surprise there, given the numbers you just detailed, that you have a lot of green there. Communication services and tech, the biggest sectors in the S&P 500. They've each gained 1%. The Nasdaq 100, Nasdaq Composite closing at record highs. Utilities also right up there, gaining almost 1%. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the next hour, but it goes back to what Alix Steel was saying about how they are driving and they're benefiting, I should say, from the demand for power to fuel all these AI data centers. Healthcare, REITs, and energy are the laggards on the day.
Data centers, energy, right? The new AI play. All right, let's get to some of the individual gainers, if I may. Ross Stores, we were breaking down the earnings yesterday after the closing bell. At its highs, up about 10% today, finishing the day with just shy of an 8% gain. Discount retailer boosted its EPS forecast for the year. The company reported first quarter results, as well as we've mentioned, with analysts noting that comp sales were roughly in line with expectations. This was your number 1 gainer in the Nasdaq 100, number 4 gainer in the S&P 500. All right, another retailer, BJ's Wholesale, finishing just shy of its highs of the session, but still up almost 6% for the Friday trade. Analysts raising their price target since the company reported earnings on May 23rd. It reported yesterday before the open, but the momentum, I should say, to the upside, kind of continuing into today's session. The retailer reported adjusted earnings per share, revenue, and membership fee income for the first quarter that topped analyst expectations. UBS raising the price target on it to a street high of $97 a share from $89, and the stock finishing at $88 and change today. And then another one, we've all seen the commercials. I'm assuming we've all seen them. Guardant Health rallying after the company's Shield blood test to screen for colorectal cancer received the backing of an FDA advisory panel. This stock up at its highs about 17%, but still a really respectable gain, up more than 13% for the Friday trade.
I don't think I have seen those commercials.
You haven't seen them?
But now apparently
it's like the little block, the box, the blue and white box that just tells you like a different way to test
No, but thanks for saying that.
You're welcome.
All right, I want to go to some of the decliners. In the S&P 500, had my eye on what happened to Intuit today, down more than 8%. This after the company reported losing 1 million customers who use its TurboTax software for free. That highlighted concerns about demand for the company's software. Shares fell more than 8% today. 10 million people used TurboTax for free this year to file their taxes. It's about a drop of 1 million from a year ago. Also, Workday shares dropping the most in more than, well, wow, going all the way back to 2016 at this point. This after the company cut its full year forecast for subscription revenue and said customers were being more cautious with orders. Shares today fell by more than 15%. And then Summit Therapeutics lost nearly a quarter of its value today. This after the company reported data from a trial of a lung cancer drug with partner Akeso. That data was seen as disappointing. I should note the data abstract of the drug was released by the American Society of Clinical Oncology. It's only the worst day going back to February, so it's been a pretty volatile stock. Back then, just a few months ago, it fell 26%. Akeso shares, for its part, fell by a record, Alix, in Hong Kong after the abstract release.
All right, well, the Treasury market closed at 2 p.m. today. However, let's just check in on it anyway. So we saw the 2-year yield close up by about 1 basis point, and then you had a touch of buying in the back end. But honestly, not a lot of movement. But I found a catalyst, you guys. Thank you, Barry Knapp. I being me, next week, $183 billion worth of Treasury auctions. We get a 2, a 5, and a 7.
Ooh.
In fact, you get a 5 and a 2, about $70 billion of each. So maybe that could be a catalyst, particularly as the 2-year yield kind of sits right near that 5% level.
All right, I have no easy segue off of that one, so I'm just going to go for it. This is a great story that caught our attention by our Crystal C. It's about the TikTok video playing and going on about the finance bro stereotype, and it's gone viral. Megan Boney, she is the girl on the couch, in case you haven't heard of her. She posted at the end of April, and basically she was singing about looking for a man in finance, and her video has amassed more than 2 million views, but there's been a meme off of it, and so everybody's been having some fun with it.
Romaine and I know this because a few weeks ago we went to the Brooklyn Mirage together, and it was a rave.
Really? And you guys danced to this?
Yeah, we were just dancing to this.
Is there video proof of this?
We were just dancing to this all night long.
Were you guys singing along? I'm looking for a man in finance, plus fun, 6'5", blue eyes.
And you know, and I've been getting all these weird phone calls ever since. I don't know why.
I'm pretty gullible, so for a hot second, I believe that was true.
You wish it was true.
I was in bed by 9, whatever night I'm talking about.
But the best thing about this is that, so she put that out on TikTok, and then everyone else kind of like built on it, right? Liquidity made it into electronica mix, and then everyone else added their thing to it. They changed the lyrics around a little bit. I mean, I still like the original lyrics, but go have fun with it.
The original lyrics, you're not down with the remix.
No, she's not. So literally, I sit across from Scarlett, and like she's been kind of jamming to this all day. So
I've been singing it all day.
Yes.
I got all the other producers involved as well. It's true.
You're not looking, Scarlett, are you?
Well, I don't like the blue eyes. Everything else I'm on board with.
So here's another story, guys, that I feel like we need to talk about. Fruit Loops apparently is going to keep their artificially brightened colors. Some Pop-Tarts, though, you guys, are going to lose them.
Whoa, that is so bright.
That is bright, and that is a lot. So apparently, the snack company Kalanova that makes Pop-Tarts and Rice Krispie Treats is working to replace artificial additives in some of its products with natural alternatives after the dye in them was banned by one state. Can we have Fruit Loops that are boring? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm not on board with this. I mean, look at that. That looks delicious.
I mean,
you know what this made me
down.
think about too was, you remember those college students that like a couple years ago did a study and found out that all the Fruit Loops are actually the same flavor?
Ooh, that sounds about right.
Yeah, they basically said it's all just a ruse. They're different colors, but they're actually the exact
They all
same.
look like Gatorade, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put enough sugar in it, it's going to taste the same.
It's all in your head.
Wait, did you read down on the story? Breakfast cereal maker Kellogg is keeping the dyes because they haven't yet run afoul of new legal restrictions, even though the company found a way to do these without these colorings for essentially the same product.
I don't know.
The artificial, the dyes, like all this stuff, it's like makes me a little nervous.
I'm sorry.
Also,
if you're eating Fruit Loops for breakfast, I think the dyes are the least of your concern here. Maybe it's like the 1,000 grams of sugar that also ingests.
Good thing those GLP-1 drugs are curing pretty much everything.
I'm just saying.
I will say, after a state like California bans some of these things.
Then again, someone in my household
I
actually
think
had
we
ice
know
cream
the
for breakfast
direction
yesterday,
that other
so.
states are going to go. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if we started to see more bans across the country.
Well, where California goes, so goes the nation, as it's often said. But, the idea that they're going to tone down the colors, you've got 10-year-old boys who, that's why they wake up. because they want bright red Fruit Loops.
Wait, are you speaking from experience?
Maybe.
All right. Well, I hope you have Fruit Loops if you want them, or Danish go-rounds, or what have you, or
no
not.
Thanks. No thanks. Move
We're
on.
looking for a man in finance.
Not doing that. All right. Have a good weekend, guys. A safe weekend, a good holiday weekend. That's our wrap. Our cross-platform radio, TV, YouTube, Bloomberg Originals. We will see you again on Tuesday. Have a good weekend, everybody.